Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome. This is our monthly live office hours. I'm Kelly, if we haven't met yet. Every month, the third Friday of every month at noon Central Time, I go live to answer any questions you have about Collage-Lab, about collage, about collage. So welcome. We've got new people that have just discovered Collage-Lab this month. So if you're new, extra special welcome to you. This is a very friendly, kind, supportive group. We won't judge. You can be a total beginner or an expert in collage. No question is a silly question. So I'm happy to answer anything, any questions you have. Tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'd love to say hello to you. I'll give you a little rundown of what's going on right now at Collage-Lab, and I will answer all your questions today. And so if you want to just say hello in the comments, anybody? There's a bit of a delay sometimes, so I will riff until I see some people saying something. It looks like 11 people are watching right now, so welcome. I'm just going to dive right in. I mentioned a lot of people have joined. I just looked at my my email service program, and 1,100 new people joined Collage-Lab's email list since September 1st. Mary Frances is watching from Edmonton, Canada. Mary is here from Tucson. Welcome. So good to see you here. And where did those 1,100 people come from? A lot of them came from the curated bundle. And we had over 2,100 participants in the entire bundle. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll explain it in a second. But I put together a bunch of artists and course creators and people that serve creative audiences like you. And we put together 18 artists with 26 different free offers, and we called it the curated bundle. I created it, I curated it, and it just closed this past week. But and so if you're one of the 2,100 that signed up, welcome. I'm so glad you found your way over here to Collage-Lab. If you Number one, if you enjoyed the curated bundle, but number two, if this is the first you're hearing of it, got a new event that we're already planning. So get on the wait list for that. I'm going to put the link in the comments. It's curated2025.com. And I've got a wait list there right now for participants. And also, if you are in a creative online business and teach workshops, you can get on the wait list and find out about applications, which will be opening soon. And so head over to curated2025.com and get on the wait list so you can find out what this is all about. I'm going to say hello to a few more people. Anita's here from Texas. I'm going to butcher your name, Janneke from the Netherlands. Welcome. That's me. Cecilia is here from South Texas. Altarf22 says ciao from Italy. Maureen is watching from Silicon Valley, California. Welcome everybody. Tell me in the comments if you did participate in the curated bundle that just closed, if you got any freebies there. Just give me a yes or a no if you participated. I'd love to see how many of you found me through curated. So next up, like I said, until you guys start asking questions, I'm just gonna tell you what's going on at Collage-Lab. A week from today is our next play date. It will be quick image transfer collage magic. We will do 3 different very quick image transfer techniques that you can use in your collage work as backgrounds, as a basis for your collage, as focal points. I don't have that all set to sign up for it yet, but I want you to save the date. It'll be next Friday, September 26th at 1 p.m. Central Time, and making some changes because I'm always trying to make things a better experience for you. Play dates are going back to Zoom. And one of the reasons for that is number one, I always love seeing your faces. YouTube Live is great because we get to reach a lot of people. But on the Zooms, I get to see your faces. And when we do a play date together, you get to hold up what you made and share it with everybody. So we're going to move the play dates back over to Zoom. And so that will be announced quickly, maybe this week, probably this weekend, but I want you to save the date because it's a week from today, Friday. So I've got some yeses: participated in the bundle, love the bundle. Yes, yes, excellent, excellent. So yeah, next play date, a week from today. It'll be on the website, explore.collagelab.com, very soon, probably this weekend, but save the date. And what else is coming up? Oh, right after that, I am holding an open house where you get to come in for free and see what our membership is all about and actually participate in our membership. We've got challenges, we've got collaborations, we've got workshops, we've got conversations, we've got a great community. And so starting, gotta look at my calendar, starting September 29th, I'm going to have an open house, and I would love to invite each and every one of you. Get on the email list so you make sure you don't miss out on that. And that's going to be starting September 29th, membership open house. So what else is coming up? Oh, okay. So yeah, membership open house. Like I said, you're invited. You'll be inside of our membership with our regular members doing the things that we do in the membership each month. I'm going to give you an insider's view. And then, of course, you guys have been around the internet for a while. Of course, then I'm going to open the doors to the membership. And if you want to join us, I figure after you've tried it out a bit and met some of the members and participated in the classes and challenges and things, you might want to join the membership, or you might just say, nope, not for me. That's okay. So after the during the open house, I'll be opening the doors to the membership. But if you want to get on the wait list for the membership, we call ourselves the Lab Rats, and it's less than $1 a day. Get on the wait list. There's no obligation, but wait list people will get early access when I open the doors. So get on the wait list, and I will put that link in the comments as well. If you are watching this on a replay, the waitlist might be gone, and this page will actually take you to the membership where you can join. So it's going to either be the waitlist or the membership page that tells you everything that's in there. But our membership it's less than $1 a day, y'all, and you get a lot. The best thing you get, of course, is community. The people in our membership are amazing, kind, creative, and some are absolute beginners, and some have been doing it longer than I have. And they're super helpful when you've got questions. If you want feedback, they're all super, super helpful. And after that, after the open house and after the doors open for the membership and all of that, I figured it was a good time to announce that Treasure Trovember is coming back for our 6th year. This will be the 6th annual Treasure Trovember. If you are brand new to my world, I figure I need to start throwing out, words that you're going to see on social media and people sharing and talking about. I thought I should introduce you to what Treasure Trovember is. So Treasure Trovember started in November of 2020. It is a 30-day challenge, but unlike other challenges, it isn't like one collage a day or one prompt a day or one technique a day or anything like that. We create one single collage throughout the month of November. And each day I give you a prompt and you add it to that collage. And it's every day in November. This will be our 6th annual Treasure Trovember. If you want to see past Trovembers, there's a whole playlist here on YouTube, or if you go to Instagram and look for the hashtag Trovember, but that'll be opening up, so you can find out about the details towards the end of October, and we start November 1st. It will be done on YouTube, November 1st through the 29th. We will do the final day as a Zoom on November 30th. And yeah, looking forward to it. It was just a what would happen if everybody created a single collage, adding one thing a day for 30 days. And it's so much fun. So much fun. So I do encourage you to check out Treasure Trovember, which will be back November of this year. And also a little announcement next month, this office hours is going to move over to Zoom. So you can not only ask questions, but you can hold up your collage and ask a specific question, and I'll be able to see your faces. And I just feel like that's going to be a better way to connect with you and to serve you, answering your questions and all of that. So that's my updates, folks, and let's get into the questions. You can ask me anything. Play dates come in email. I will announce all the play dates via email. So if you are on Collage-Lab email list, great. You will find out about all of the play dates and everything coming up. If you're not on the email list, head over to explore.collagelab.com and sign up for the email list, and you'll know what's going on there. Cecilia says, this play date makes me wonder about collaging with newspaper. That might be a fun experiment, huh? Lisa's got a question. What medium works best to make tissue paper disappear? The best tissue too. I like wet strength tissue paper. I also, it's not tissue paper, but it's very similar, like medical exam paper, the stuff that's, covering the exam table at the doctor's office. And what you can do with both of those to make them disappear when you put them on a collage, first of all, you want to wet your paper, your tissue paper, mist it with some water, and gloss medium is going to give you the best totally disappear results. So wet it first, just spritz it with some water, and then put down gloss medium under and over the tissue paper. If you don't like the gloss, you can go over it again with matte medium, to tone down the shiny. But gloss medium is going to get you the most transparent results. And like I said, for tissue paper, my favorite is wet strength tissue paper. If I don't use wet strength tissue paper, I do go with archival tissue paper, which you can get at like the art supply stores. It's going to last you longer. But if you're just playing around, I don't recommend like the tissue paper from the dollar store, but the better tissue paper, like in the States, the Hallmark, tissue paper that's sold with their gift wrap and stuff, that holds up pretty well too. It's not as durable as the wet strength, but it's a pretty good tissue paper. Lisa's brand new. Well, good for you for jumping in with questions, Lisa. Welcome, welcome. Mary is one of our members. She says that Collage-Lab's a great place to learn and get inspiration from Kelly and other members. Great community and fun. And Mary has been in the membership just a little bit over a year now. And she was a total beginner when she started. And she is knocking it out of the park now. There is nothing she won't try. She is in all of the classes, fully participating. Cecilia says, yay. Amy says, good morning from Los Altos, California. Cheryl says that medical exam paper disappears beautifully. Yeah, it's magic. And it's a lot cheaper than the wet strength tissue paper. And you can buy a whole roll of it that will last you a very long time, quite inexpensively. You are most welcome. Oh yeah, Spectra. Spectra is, it's a brand of wet strength tissue paper. For a long time, it was very hard to get in the States. And so I don't know, I got it on Amazon. I don't have an art supply store in my town, and I actually don't have a real art supply store, anywhere near here. There is a Michael's in the next town over. But so I order a lot of things on Amazon or from Dick Blick. And Spectra was hard to find. Spectra is a very good brand for wet strength tissue paper, but I have found a couple other brands that work quite well. I don't have the link right this minute, but I have all of the supplies that I love and recommend in my Amazon storefront, and I will put that, I'll get that link for you all, because yeah, you want a brand that's really going to work, and some of these brands are not the best. But the one I've got linked in my Amazon storefront, I've been using for quite some time and works great. Amy says, had fun co-creating with Mary. Oh, awesome. Lisa Humphreys, where am I? I'm sorry, I forget that there are new people. It's like when you go to a party and you introduce yourself to, a few people, and then you forget that you haven't introduced yourself to everybody. I am in Rockport, Texas, which is on the Texas Gulf Coast. And so I'm about a half hour north of Corpus Christi. That's the biggest town. And basically, if I want to buy art supplies in my town, I have to get them at Walmart. That's really the only option here. I do buy a lot of art supplies at the thrift store, stamps and stencils and, crafty things. What supplies should I start out with without spending lots of money? Great question, Leslie. You need yourself a good glue stick and a good pair of scissors, and that's about it. I do a lot of work in a cheap little mixed media sketchbook. Mixed media paper is 98 pounds or 160 GSM. I'll do finished collages on watercolor paper, a little heavier weight, like I use 140 pound, but a mixed media sketchbook, a glue stick, and a pair of scissors. It's really the way to start out. I am a firm believer in use what you have. And so you will see in a lot of my classes and play dates and demos, I may give you a supply list. These are the things I'm going to use, but feel free to try whatever you have on hand. Feel free to experiment. There's no wrong way to do it. So those are the basics, and then you can start adding on. I do a lot of mixed media collage, and so acrylic paint is something I use quite often. Uh, Markers, pens, pencils, crayons, anything you've got that you can make marks with. And acrylic paint, I don't have the bottle canned. Well, I do. I have a larger one here. This is the brand. You can buy the little tiny bottles at Walmart for less than $1 each, the 4 ounce, and that's a great way to start. That's a great way to start. After you've been doing it for a while, you can start upgrading your supplies, but start with just basic stuff and see if you like it. Um, you are most welcome. Lois just dropped in to say hi while doing her daily 10-minute collage. Lois is one of our members, and love we love when she drops in. Thank you for being here. Other questions, y'all? Anybody else got any questions? Anything collage or anything? Mary, hi. Mary's in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Hopefully it's starting to cool off in other parts of the country. It's still very warm here in South Texas. You will know if you're in our membership, you will see the seasons of South Texas, like in the middle of summer when I'm like sweating even with the air conditioning and the fans going, and then the middle of winter my studio is not insulated, so I have space heaters here in the winter, but it's really not bad. I spent most of my life in Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Illinois, so I cannot complain about the winters here in South Texas. Leslie's here from Toledo, Ohio. Welcome, fellow Midwesterner. Any other questions, you guys? How many of you have dived into Gia's for Grids? Anybody dive into Gia's for Grids? That was available through the curated bundle, and so a lot of people signed up for that. That might be your first experience with me, so I'd love to hear what you have to say. Mary says, I can relate. My studio has no heat or air conditioning. Oh, yes, it's an issue. And the thing that's fabulous about collage, because we do have a lot of members that have, a dedicated space for collaging, but it's maybe not conducive to doing it year round. But we can do collage at the kitchen table or the dining room table. Mary started doing it at her dining room table and then fell in love with it and ended up emptying her guest room and making herself a new studio. Lisa says, Gia's for Grids is saved, not had a chance to look at it yet, look forward to it. Yeah, Gia's for Grids that y'all just signed up for, that was the very first online class I ever recorded and put out there back right at the beginning of the pandemic in March of 2020. It was just like testing the systems and the camera and all of that. And this year, for the curated bundle, I actually re-recorded the entire thing. It's basically the same lessons, but I went through and made them all fresh because my editing 5 years ago, oh, it was embarrassing. Lois, not this time, but I do love working with grids. You do, and you do very, very well with grids. It's such a simple structure. On what kind of paper do YouTube print your papers? What kind of paper do I print my papers? I'm thinking. I don't print a lot of papers. I use a lot of old books and old magazines, but you can use any kind of printer. You just have to treat your paper a little bit differently. In the upcoming play date, we're actually going to do image transfers with laser prints and inkjet prints and magazines. Three quick ways to use those. So I'll talk a lot about different kinds of paper then, but any kind of paper will work. Use old catalogs, magazines. I do most of my art in my kitchen on a large counter, store my supplies in a bedroom upstairs. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Mary's got a question. Are water-soluble crayons special? How to use? Only at an art store. Love G's for Grids. Started a dedicated journal. Okay, lots of questions, Mary. Water-soluble crayons. Water-soluble anything. What water-soluble means, the science, meaning, is it means that water will affect it. And so a water-soluble crayon, I'll grab a couple water-soluble things here for you. A water-soluble crayon, this is Faber-Castell water-soluble crayon. This is a brand called Caran d'Ache. This is their Neo Color 2s. Caran d'Ache has two different kinds of crayons. The Neo Color 2 is water soluble. The Neo Color 1 is not. And what that means, and my other favorite water soluble is the Woody's 3-in-1. This is from Stabilo. I also like water soluble graphite. What it means and what they do is you can make a mark with a water soluble crayon and it looks a certain way, but you can add water to it, and depending on how much water you add to it, you can get a blending effect. So like it'll look like watercolor, and if you add a lot of water, you can create a wash, like a watercolor background. You can also dip the crayon, directly in your water, and you'll get different kinds of effects. Now, what we have to do if we're doing that and then we're collaging over them is we need to do something to keep it from reactivating. So when something activates with water, if you walk away from it and then you go back with some water, it's going to keep reactivating. And so what I like to use, and I can get it at the Walmart or the hardware store, is called Workable Fixative. There's too much light on that. There we go. It's by Krylon, and it's a spray. It's a clear spray. But what it does is it fixes that water-soluble media so that it doesn't usually reactivate. And that's important if we are using a liquid glue, a liquid medium to, continue to glue papers to our collage. You want to fix it. Otherwise, you're going to be brushing glue on and your crayon marks are going to be going all over the place because it's reactivated. So that's what makes a water-soluble crayon special. Regular crayon, Crayola crayon, your kids' crayons, you draw a mark, and if you get some water on it, it's not going to move. It's wax, and it's just going to stay there. Water-soluble crayon will get activated by water. Are they only at art supply stores? To the best of my knowledge, yeah. It's not something you would find at a regular big box store, but I know you can find some water soluble things at like Michael's. I don't even know if Joann's still exists. And so the craft stores will have water soluble stuff. All of the art supply stores will as well. So that's That's what we know about water soluble. Um, Are Tim Holtz crayons okay? I went on a spree with his stuff. I don't have any, but one of our members mentioned the other day that she got the Tim Holtz distress crayons, and they're water soluble, and so you're going to be able to make them fade and do things with them by adding liquid. But if you want to protect them. The workable fixative works on other things as well, like pastels. Have you ever, done something with a chalk pastel and then accidentally put your arm in it and it all smears? Workable fixative is what pastel artists use so that they can keep layering and they're not, smearing the pastels. So the Tim Holtz crayons, I double check and see which ones they are, but they'll let you know if it's water soluble or not. Lisa says, Justice had the Tim Holtz mica distress sprays. I didn't know it could reactivate and turn my project brown. It was ruined. Not that it was precious, but yeah. And some of the sprays, some of the inks are also water soluble. And so you really, you can experiment and you can have fun. But if you're doing something on a piece that's going really well and all of that, I would test on another piece of paper. I would test and make sure. And I've had this stuff fail me before too, the workable fixative, where I put down charcoal lines, willow charcoal marks, and thought I had sprayed enough fixative, and I went to glue something down and I was making a mess of the charcoal lines. So always test if it's something precious. But yeah, some of the inks, some of the sprays will also do that. All Tim Holtz distress items are water soluble, very high quality. Thank you, Cheryl. I think I have a couple stamp pads of the distress ink of his, but I don't have any of the sprays and I don't have the crayons yet. But I do really like the effects of water soluble marks. So, there are, it's give and take, right? You like something, so you maybe have to do a few extra steps or things like that. Leslie says, thanks. You are most welcome. Any other questions? Any other questions? I am gonna continue to do office hours the third Friday of every month. It is moving to Zoom next month. If you go to explore.collagelab.com, go to the website, there's a calendar on the website. I think it says events. If you click on that, you don't have to be a member. You don't have to take any of my classes. If you click on that, it will show you free events like the office hours and give you the next day and time and give you the direct link for that. So anytime in the future that you've got a question about collage, remember office hours, head over to explore.collagelab.com and come join me third Friday of every month at noon Central Time. And this one, because it's on YouTube, the replay will live here. Let me know if you're watching on the replay. Any other questions? This was fun, you guys. I love talking about the water soluble things, and obviously I'm able to just grab them right off of my work table. So it is something I use on a regular basis. Lois says, happy collaging to all. Yeah, exactly. What a great way to jump into the weekend. Amy says, thank you for being here, Amy. Any other questions? I'm going to let you jump in. Cheryl says, super helpful resource. Thank you. Well, thank you, Cheryl, and welcome. I think you are new to me. I don't recognize I don't recognize a few of these names. So thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. And have a great weekend. Watch for watch for the open house and the upcoming play date. I'll be announcing those, probably finalizing all the links and everything over the weekend. And where do I find out about next month? Oh, okay. That's easy. If you go to, let me just pop a link in here. If you go to explore.collagelab.com, up at the top is a menu, and one of those things says events, and it will always show the next office hours. So, you do not need to pay to participate in a Zoom in general. You don't even need to like download the app. You can always join from a browser. Sometimes you probably get better, it's been a while since I've done it without the app, but you can always join from a browser. But the app is free on your computer or on your phone. It's a better experience on your computer, but I understand, like if you are going to be making alongside somebody that's Zooming, you might want to be doing it on your phone, and it works, and it's free. And the office hours, when they move to Zoom, will also be free. And anybody can jump in and participate, no registration, anything like that. Thank you, Carolyn. You're another new name. Welcome, welcome. Thanks, everybody. Great questions today. Let me find the stop button, right? Have a great weekend, and I hope to see you really soon. I really hope to see you in our upcoming membership open house. That'll be totally free, and it starts September 29th.